When talking with one of our customers in particular, it became apparent that they were thinking about the end user experience as much as we were. And last year, you heard the story of how SAP were empowering their end users with their Mac at SAP project. Since then, SAP is expanding their focus even further into the Apple ecosystem. And this year, they're able to not only talk to us about how they're using Jamf to manage macOS and tvOS, but in the past year, they started using Jamf to manage iOS also. To discuss the benefits that SAP are seeing from moving to Jamf, please join me in welcoming Martin Lang, VP IT Services of Enterprise Mobility at SAP.
We are proud at SAP and as Enterprise Mobility to offer employees a choice for both desktop and mobile devices. And we currently manage around 18,000 Macs, some 65,000 iPhones, 17,000 iPads, and about 170 Apple TVs in conference rooms and executive briefing centers and meeting rooms all over the world. Apple currently, when it comes to iPhones or to mobile phones, currently makes up about 93% versus 7% Android. We do offer Android phones as well, but that's what people choose. On the application side, we expanded from initially just building iOS apps to now also build a bunch of native macOS apps, as well as 5 tvOS apps that we have running on our Apple TVs. Our team has their hands full. One of our biggest projects has been the strategic decision to move to a new MDM provider for our mobile devices. We did proof of concepts with multiple UEM providers, as well as with Jamf, and decided at the end that we moved to Jamf primarily for 2 reasons. For one, we've been a very happy Jamf customer for 8 years, managing our Macs with Jamf since 2010. And the Jamf expertise that we already had in-house managing those Macs helped us to scale up faster, now looking at iOS. Also, the focus of Jamf on reducing and removing the step 3 is something that spoke to us, because that's what we are about as SAP IT as well, to remove that step 3 for our end users and make IT as simple as breathing. Now, to provide an even better service for our employees, we made some organizational changes as well with this. We decided to move everybody focused on Apple devices together into one team so that we can support Macs and iPads and iPhones and Apple TVs with a consistent user experience across the board. We have a similar approach for Android as well, and this platform focus helps us to bring out the passion that people have for one or the other platform, and to always use the MDM and connected features around the MDM to the fullest to enable people's productivity on the devices of their choice. I brought a new hire with me. Her name is Julia Morasuti. She just started at SAP in October. Julia, welcome. She is eligible in a role to have a corporate phone, but we didn't give it to her. We're gonna give it to her now, live here on stage. Of course, it has a post-it on it, right, as you would expect. This is ours, though, not Jamf's. It says IT Services, which is what this shirt says. And Julia, let's enroll this phone, shall we? So Julia is actually, this is not quite a demo. She's actually enrolling this iPhone brand out of the box into our production environment, our production Jamf Pro environment that we now have in place. And if the demo gods are with us, this hopefully works. Julia's gonna just start the enrollment of this phone. She's gonna be able to keep this phone. This is really her phone. After this, it's a 10S. We don't give 10Ss to everybody who starts at SAP, but we thought for this, if you live enroll it on stage, we might as well. When Julia does get access to the phone, multiple certificates, including a user certificate, plus all security and password policies to ensure device compliance are already on this phone, as well as an Apple-branded wallpaper. And there you go. This was quite fast. So there's the apps coming down. At SAP, we are very careful in how many apps we install at the time of enrollment, because we do not want to clutter the device, right, for our users, but we want to make it usable right from the start and guide users into the next steps. So besides self-service, which you saw obviously showing up, we also push Microsoft Authenticator, and we use it for certificate-based logon to all Office 365 app. We'll see that in a second. We also push 2 in-house apps at the time of enrollment, which we call Apple at SAP and Launchpad. You saw that obviously this phone is supervised, right, because we used automated MDM enrollment, so there's no pop-ups for any app installs. In our prior solution, we had a lot of pop-ups, and so we are very glad that we could get rid of this. Everything uses VPP. We use everything Apple and Jamf and Microsoft offers very consistently to improve the user experience. So Apple at SAP was actually built on the Jamf Certificate SDK, which was released in 10.6, prioritized a little bit, but released in 10.6. And the purpose of the Certificate SDK is to provide single sign-on certificates for in-house apps, because in-house apps cannot see the regular certificate in the keychain. What happened now, super quick, you saw Julia did not have to enter any passwords, and you see connected, is it pulled in the certificate, and it's now available on the device. Julia can now, the Apple at SAP app, also is the entry point after the certificate is there to the Apple at SAP community. So Julia clicks on the community and we see this is single sign-on now, so there's no log-on screens for any website now, any SAP website, internal or external. And this is our iPhone and iPad at SAP community where people can see news on devices and OSs and apps and so forth. This is the first time Julia is opening OneDrive on this device, right? So she will have to enter her email address. We saw the screen before on the Mac, obviously, right? This is a regular Azure AD login. However, ours is actually even cooler than yours, Steen, because ours uses certificates, right, for logon. So Julia, because we have now certificates on the device knows who Julia is. We will click sign in with certificate. And in just a second, Julia will see all her files and folders coming in for OneDrive. There you go, one more push notification pop-up. There's all her files. Perfect, right? Let's do Outlook next. And this is super cool, right? Because Outlook is maybe the golden, the holy grail of managing devices. But so in Outlook now, it also takes the Azure Active Directory, the Azure AD authentication, and Julia did it in OneDrive already, so Outlook's already authenticated, and there is virtually no email, no pop-up, few emails. So this is what I mean when I say we have this consistent Apple at SAP experience that users love a lot. This phone is fully set up, Julia, and this is yours to keep, obviously. Awesome job in enrolling this phone. We'll give you another applause here. Yeah.